A long time ago, there lived a cruel and harsh ruler named Dixon. His rule is so cruel that many people begin to hate him. This anger and hatred spread across his kingdom, and eventually, a powerful leader named King Wu of Jifa decided to challenge him. King Wu gathers an army of 50,000 soldiers and marches to fight against Dixon. In response, Dixon, who rules over the Shang dynasty, gathers an even bigger army. He sends 107,000 of his strongest and bravest soldiers to a place called Mui to stop King Wu. Both sides want to prove who truly deserves the right to rule, also known as the Mandate of Heaven. As the battle is about to start, the soldiers on both sides rush into combat. Dixon stands far away from the battlefield, watching everything from a distance. But then something unexpected happens. His own guards, who are supposed to protect him, suddenly turn against him and attack. Dixon fights back bravely, but he quickly realizes that all of his soldiers have betrayed him. Among the enemies is a man named Jiang Ziya, who has always hated Dixon. Jiang Ziya flies straight toward Dixon, calling him a tyrant and attacking him without mercy. Dixon manages to escape the battlefield, but instead of being sad or scared, he starts laughing. He claims that he cannot die like normal people because he is immortal. In the end, he sets himself on fire and disappears in the flames. In the present day, many years later, an archaeologist and company chairman named Mr. Bai is giving a lecture at a university. The class he speaks to is full of students, and the topic is the famous Battle of Mui, where King Wu's army defeated Dixon's forces. Mr. Bai shows the class a bronze statue of Dixon, which has been discovered during an archaeological dig. While he is talking, a foreign student from France named Tart sees something interesting on the statue. He points out a ring on the statue's finger. Mr. Bai is surprised that Tart notices the ring, and he explains that it might have been one of Dixon's most valuable and mysterious belongings. When Tart asks if the real ring has ever been found, Mr. Bai says that its location is still unknown. Most students listen carefully, but a boy named Zhu is sitting behind them, asleep. His friend and classmate, Liu, wakes him up and mentions that he has something to offer after school. At first, Zhu is not interested and says no because he has to go to work. But when Liu mentions that the job could make him a lot of money, Zhu becomes curious. After class, Zhu goes to visit his mother at the hospital. She has been very sick for a long time. Ever since his father passed away 5 years ago, Zhu has to take care of all the family expenses by working part-time jobs. Every time he visits, his mother asks if he has a girlfriend yet, but he always avoids the question. While Zhu is with his mother, a nurse comes over and reminds him again that the hospital bills are overdue. Zhu needs money badly, so he decides to go see what Liu's offer is about. Liu asks him to come to a construction site. When Zhu arrives, he sees several men there, all holding weapons. Liu shows him a ring that looks exactly like the one worn by Dixon in the statue. Zhu takes the ring and looks at it closely. He is surprised at how similar it looks. Liu tells him to wear it, but Zhu refuses because he remembers something bad that happened in the past and does not want to take the risk again. However, Liu offers a deal. If Zhu wears the ring, he will pay all of his mother's medical bills. Zhu is still unsure. Just then, a woman appears and asks him whether he will wear the ring or not. Zhu turns around and sees a very beautiful woman named Jiang. He is stunned by her beauty. Jiang says she wants to take a video to record what might happen when someone wears the ring. Still thinking about his mother's hospital bills, Zhu finally agrees and wears the ring. At first, nothing happened. Everyone thinks the ring is fake. But after a few moments, Zhu begins to feel strange. His body feels weak, and he suddenly drops to his knees. He feels like throwing up. As he opens his mouth, something horrifying comes out. Liu is shocked to see it. Suddenly, Zhu attacks Liu without warning. He moves so fast that he cuts off one of Liu's arms. Liu falls unconscious from the pain and fear. As the others watch in terror, something even more disturbing happens. A strange and scary creature begins to grow out of Zhu's body. It is the same thing that attacked Liu. Everyone stands frozen, realizing that the ring is far from ordinary. The creature that comes out of Zhu is no ordinary thing. It is a terrifying monster made of blood, known as a blood devil. One of the men nearby panics and throws a stone at the creature, hoping to scare it off. But before the stone can even hit it, the blood devil vanishes into thin air. In the next second, the monster reappears and attacks more people who are standing nearby. Chaos breaks out and everyone begins to scream and run. Jiang, who has been calm until then, shouts for Zhu to take off the ring. She realizes the ring is the cause of the evil that has appeared. Zhu tries with all his strength to pull it off, but it is stuck. Jiang moves closer to help him remove it, but the blood devil notices them and quickly rushes toward them. Zhu acts fast and jumps in front of Jiang to protect her. He believes he won't survive the next attack, so he suddenly kisses her. He does it not out of romance but as a way to create a story. He hopes the world will believe he dies happy with a girlfriend so that his sick mother won't grieve too much. But just when the devil is about to strike Zhu, something unexpected happens. A man named Dao, who has been standing with them earlier, steps in and blocks the attack. Because of his help, Ju and Jiang are able to run away. Dao stays behind to fight the Blood Devil, risking his life so the others can escape. Ju and Jiang run as fast as they can until they reach a fast food restaurant. Ju is exhausted and extremely thirsty. He grabs a soda and drinks it all at once, but his mind is filled with horrible images of what the devil has done to everyone earlier. As he sits there, he begins to worry that Liu might have died too. This scares him even more, not just because Liu is his friend, but because Liu has promised to pay his mother's hospital bills. If Liu is dead, there will be no money, and Ju's mother will suffer. After a short rest, Jiang tells Ju to follow her to the nearest hotel. Ju is shocked by her sudden suggestion and doesn't know what to think. When they reach the hotel, he sees how fancy and expensive it is. He feels embarrassed and weak because he has no money. But to his surprise, Jiang pays for everything. That makes Ju suspicious. He wonders if Jiang is hiding something or maybe even a monster like the Blood Devil who has tricked him into coming here. At the same time, he thinks maybe she is just being kind and maybe good things could happen between them. Inside the hotel room, Jiang finally explains who she is. She says she is a reporter from South City Daily. She has brought Ju to the hotel not for romance but to study the ring more closely. She wants to find out what makes the ring so powerful and why it has caused such destruction. She examines the ring carefully, still trying to understand how it can summon such a monster. After taking notes, she tells Ju to take off his clothes so she can check if the ring has changed anything on his body. Ju is embarrassed and says no. In response, Jiang slaps him hard. The slap is so strong that Ju faints right there. While he is unconscious, Jiang looks for her phone to report what she has learned, but she realizes it is missing. Thinking she might have dropped it, she decides to go back to the construction site to find it. Meanwhile, Ju is still unconscious and dreaming. In his dream, he is back at the same construction site where everything has begun. The Blood Devil is there again, and it kills another man in front of him. Just as the monster is about to kill Ju, he suddenly wakes up from the nightmare, gasping for breath. But he doesn't get a chance to rest. Just minutes later, the hotel room door bursts open, and a group of police officers enters. They have come to arrest him. The team is led by a woman named Mei, and her colleague Shen is with her. They tell Ju he is the main suspect in the violent incident at the South City construction site. Ju tries to explain that a Blood Devil has caused everything, not him. But the officers don't believe his story. They think he is making up lies to avoid getting in trouble. Ju feels hopeless, so he tells them about Jiang. He explains that she has seen everything and escaped with him. Hoping she can clear his name, he asks them to find her. The police then take him to the forensic center to check the evidence and details of the case. But when Ju arrives there, he sees something that leaves him completely shocked. They explains that Jiang has been seen at the construction site after the attack. This means she and Ju do not escape together, as Ju claims. The police begin to suspect that Ju is lying. Desperate to prove he is innocent, Ju rushes to wake Jiang, hoping she will speak up and support him. But Shen quickly stops him. The officers decide to take Ju away in a patrol car and send him to a detention center. While he sits quietly in the car, confused and worried, Ju suddenly hears the strange voice of the Blood Devil again. Without warning, the horrifying creature appears in front of him, though only he can see it. The devil makes an offer. If Ju gives up control of his body, the devil will help him escape from the police. But Ju doesn't accept the deal. He knows he has done nothing wrong, and he doesn't want to give in to evil just to run away. The devil disappears but warns him that it will find him again as long as he wears the ring. Moments later, the officers prepare to drive off. Ju sits quietly, but his mind is racing with worry. He thinks about what might happen next. He wonders how his sick mother will react if she finds out he has been accused of murder and taken by the police. This fear makes him want to escape. He tries to make a move, biting down on the ring in frustration. Just then, the vehicle is suddenly attacked. Something hits it hard, and Ju is knocked out cold. When Ju opens his eyes, he finds himself in a new place. In front of him stands a group of masked men. Looking around, he also sees that Mei and Shen are tied up in handcuffs. One of the masked men tells Ju that their leader has ordered them to rescue him. The man hands Ju a tablet screen, and Ju is shocked to see Liu on the video call. Liu, who he thinks is dead, is alive. Even more surprising is that Liu's severed arm has somehow been fully restored. Liu explains that his arm has been healed because he has lots of money and powerful resources. This changes everything. Mei and Shen realize that Liu has survived the construction site attack, which means Ju might not be guilty after all. Ju begs Liu to tell the truth and explain that he didn't kill anyone. But Liu says he can't help that way. He has lost consciousness during the attack and can't say for sure what Ju has done. Still, Liu has another plan to prove Ju's innocence. He contacts one of his men who is working near the forensic lab. This person has a secret mission to recover Jiang's phone, which might contain videos of the incident. If those videos are real, they can clear Ju's name. The man makes his way into the center and approaches Jiang's body. But then, something strange happens. Just as he gets close to her, Jiang's phone alarm suddenly rings. This wakes her up. The man freezes in fear as Zhang's body begins to move. She sits up slowly, and the wound in her stomach begins healing by itself. Terrified, the man tries to run out of the room, but before he can get away, Zhang vanishes into thin air. He radios Liu's team in panic, saying Zhang has come back to life. But most of them don't believe him. They tell him he'll be punished if he fails to bring back the phone. Despite his fear, he reaches for the phone, but Zhang reappears right behind him. What happens next is so terrifying that the man screams loudly. Everyone on the other end of the call hears his cry. Liu then explains that he has secretly been keeping an eye on Zhang because he suspects she is investigating him. However, everyone he sends to follow her has mysteriously disappeared. This leads him to believe that Zhang is probably not human either. Soon after, another one of Liu's agents at the forensic center sends a chilling message. The man who has gone to retrieve the phone is dead, and Zhang has left the building, taking the phone with her. Realizing the urgency, Liu orders everyone to chase after her immediately. The videos on Zhang's phone are likely the only proof that Zhu hasn't hurt anyone. Liu also promises Zhu that if he can recover the phone and bring back the ring, he will continue to pay for his mother's hospital care, even if Zhu dies trying. Later, some of Liu's men report seeing Zhang enter an old abandoned building. Another group follows her inside, hoping to catch her quickly. But as they enter the dark place, they are met with something unexpected and terrifying. The building is filled with zombie-like creatures. The attackers have no choice but to open fire on the creatures. The gunshots echo through the hallways, but there are too many of the monsters. Overwhelmed, one of the soldiers pulls out a grenade and blows up part of the building. At that same moment, Zhu and the others arrive at the location. They feel the ground shake from the explosion. Knowing that something is wrong, they decide to go in as well. But before they can enter, Shen stops Mei. He warns her that the building is known for strange events. It has a dark history. People who go inside never come out again. It is rumored to be haunted, and many believe ghosts live inside. Despite the warning, Liu's team ignores the danger. They are determined to catch Zhang and get the phone back. So they enter the building, guns ready. As they continue walking deeper into the abandoned building, the group suddenly comes across the dead bodies of their fellow teammates. It is a horrifying sight that makes everyone more alert and scared. Zhu quickly asks the masked men to remove the handcuffs from Mei and Shen, explaining that they won't be able to move quickly or help if they are tied up. After agreeing, the group moves ahead together, though the tension is heavy in the air. Soon, they arrive at a room filled with large glass containers. Inside these containers are strange and frightening-looking creatures. The group is shocked by the sight, but they know they have to keep going. One of them finds a door leading to a staircase going down. Without knowing what lies ahead, they enter and descend further underground. What they don't know is that someone named John is secretly watching them through cameras. He activates a trap that causes the group to fall down to an even lower level. When they land at the bottom, everyone stands up quickly and looks around. The place is very dark, and they can barely see anything. One of them spots a torch on the wall and decides to take it for light. But the moment he pulls it from the wall, a hidden trap is triggered. An arrow shoots straight at him, but he manages to block it just in time. Unfortunately, more arrows quickly follow. Zhu protects Mei from getting hit and then remembers something his father once told him about traps being activated by light. Shen becomes angry at Zhu for landing on top of Mei during the rescue, but Zhu quickly tells them all to turn off their lights to avoid triggering more arrows. Someone throws a small explosive toward the direction the arrows are coming from. It destroys a hidden camera that John has set up to monitor the group. John becomes furious after seeing this. Zhang is also revealed to be standing beside him, silently watching everything. After escaping the trap, the group finds another room. This time, there are two strange female bodies lying inside capsules. These bodies have human forms but animal heads, which look creepy and unnatural. On the wall nearby is an old painting. Shen guesses it might show a human sacrifice. He thinks there might be a secret door behind it. When he touches the painting, a hidden door opens. But before they can move further, one of the women inside the capsule suddenly wakes up and attacks a member of their group. Not long after, the second woman comes to life and also begins attacking. They manage to knock both women down, but no matter how hard they try, these creatures won't die. It seems they are more than just humans. Zhu, who has been hiding in the secret room, accidentally touches something on the wall. It is a lipstick. When he smells it, he realizes it has a strange scent. He figures out that it is actually the switch to close the secret door. He quickly tells everyone to enter the room, and once they are all inside, the door shuts and begins to move downwards. It is actually an old elevator. At the bottom, they arrive in what looks like a very old medical room. There is a woman lying on an operating table. Shen is told to check if she is alive, and when he touches her, she slowly begins to move. The woman wakes up, and when she sees that she is not wearing any clothes, she panics. Her face looks very familiar to everyone. They are shocked to realize that she is actually Lily, a famous actress. Some of them get excited and even think of asking for her autograph. But May stops them, asking more serious questions about why Lily is in such a place. Lily can't say anything. She just sits there, crying. Ju notices a wound on Lily's neck and immediately becomes cautious. He warns the others to stay away from her. As they step back, the truth is revealed. Lily is not human anymore. She is some kind of monster in disguise. Without warning, she pulls out a weapon, ready to attack. The group knows that they have stepped into something far more dangerous than they ever imagined. When Lily suddenly attacked May, Shen stepped in just in time to block the strike. Ju had a strong feeling that this woman wasn't really Lily, the famous actress, but she just laughed and said she was indeed the real one. The group didn't want to believe her, but Lily then revealed something shocking. She began to explain a secret about what wealthy people wanted the most: eternal life. She claimed that fewer than 1% of the richest people in the country knew about it, and they had already taken steps to live forever. Lily said she wasn't supposed to gain access to this kind of procedure, but she used her charm and powerful contacts to get what she wanted. Because of this, the group realized that many others might have already gone through the same strange operation as Lily. She seemed irritated that just normal people like them were the ones who had woken her up. That's why she decided to attack again. But the captain of the group stepped in to block her first. Still, Lily got back up. The wounds she had received healed right away in front of their eyes. This surprised everyone. People started firing at her over and over until she finally dropped to the floor again. But even then, it didn't stop her. Her body pushed the bullets out like they didn't matter at all. When she tried to go after Ju and May, Shen bravely blocked her path, giving the others a chance to escape. Sadly, before anyone could run, Lily moved quickly and killed Shen right away. As she stood again, the captain fired another shot. That gave the rest of the group enough time to run. They also threw an explosive at Lily before escaping. When they joined the others, they asked about the captain. May guessed that he probably didn't survive the explosion. One of the masked men then said something shocking. He thought their captain should have company in the afterlife. Without warning, he shot May in the leg. He explained that May would now serve as a sacrifice if the monster followed them. They planned to take Ju along as they escaped, but Ju refused. He couldn't leave May behind in such a state. Because of his decision, the masked men gave up and left without him. But before going, they left another explosive behind on the floor. Elsewhere, John was growing more furious. Jiang had touched the switch and left behind a mark. This caused damage to the entire lab that he was in charge of. That research center was given to him by the leader of the Corpse clan. If anything went wrong there, John knew he would be held responsible. He was well aware that Jiang wasn't worried at all. She had protection because she was one of the favorites of the higher-ups. But if anything went wrong, John was the one who would suffer the consequences. John reached his limit. He couldn't take it anymore. So, he locked Jiang inside the room. When Jiang touched the metal bars, he activated an electric shock. She passed out right away from the strong current. Back at the building, Ju rushed to help May. He quickly covered her wound to stop it from bleeding too much. As he was doing this, they began hearing footsteps getting closer. May wanted Ju to leave immediately. She told him she would stay and handle the enemy by setting off the explosive. But Ju didn't listen. Instead, he stood up and slowly walked toward the sound of the enemy. He told May that he would be the one to deal with the creature, so that Lily wouldn't be able to get close to her again. Ju knew he was putting himself in great danger, but he couldn't let someone else sacrifice themselves while he escaped. Not long after, Ju finally stands face to face with Lily again. She looks ready to attack him, but before she can strike, Ju suddenly says he agrees to give up his body. However, he adds one important condition. Lily looks confused and pauses for a moment. Ju explains that the woman who is with him must be taken away safely and brought to a hospital. Lily finds this funny, thinking he is making the request to her, but it soon becomes clear he is not speaking to her at all. He is talking to the Blood Devil. Right after Ju speaks, the Blood Devil's missing arm finishes forming. Without wasting a second, the devil launches a fierce attack on Lily. As more of his body comes together, he doesn't stop hitting her. Ju stands and watches in surprise, amazed that the Blood Devil is able to overpower someone as strong as Lily using just one hand. At one point, the Blood Devil catches Lily and holds her tightly. She tries to fight back by attacking him from behind, but he just forms new arms and quickly destroys her weapon. Lily tries to escape, but the Blood Devil is too fast. He grabs her again and beats her down completely, winning the fight. Then the devil turns and moves towards Ju. While all this is happening, the group who has left Ju and May behind stops to rest inside a room. They feel scared and nervous, easily startled by every small noise. One of them becomes so irritated that he fires his gun at a rat, but he misses every shot. To their shock, the rat seems to mock him by laughing. A few moments later, the rat calls more rats for help, and they swarm the man, attacking him. His companion laughs at him at first, but then they notice a swarm of giant mosquitoes flying above. They immediately open fire at the creatures, trying to defend themselves. One man attempts to run away, but the mosquitoes still catch him and drag him off. Back where Zhu is, Mei starts crawling to get back to him. She finds him alive, but the moment she reaches him, she passes out. Zhu asks the Blood Devil to begin the fusion process quickly so he can save her. But once the devil starts it, he reveals the truth. He has lied to Zhu about helping Mei. Instead of saving her, the devil plans to turn her heart into his food once their fusion is complete. Meanwhile, John has taken Jiang's phone. He has always seen her watching it carefully and wants to know what is so important. When he plays the videos, he is shocked by what he sees. The footage shows the terrifying fusion between Zhu and the Blood Devil in real time. The more John watches, the more horrified he becomes. He can't understand what kind of monster this creature really is. The Blood Devil, now feeling fully alive again, looks thrilled that he can return and reclaim the ring. But just as he is celebrating, someone launches a surprise attack on him. It is the captain who has disappeared earlier. He is actually Dao, and he bravely jumps into battle with the devil. Despite being hit several times, Dao dodges many of the attacks with skill. He tries stabbing the Blood Devil with a knife, but it doesn't hurt him at all. The Blood Devil mocks him, saying he will take Dao's heart the same way he has taken another person's. Then he mentions crushing someone else's body just like before. When Zhu hears these names, the ones the Blood Devil mentions, he suddenly has a realization. He begins to suspect that this powerful and evil creature might be Dixon himself, the ancient figure known for terrible acts. Zhu asks the Blood Devil several questions, trying to understand what is really going on. That is when he finally learns the truth. Whoever wears the ring becomes a sacrifice when Dixon returns. Dao, hearing this, becomes furious. He believes the Blood Devil is nothing more than a monster that feeds on people's hearts. Since Dixon is also a member of the Corpse Clan, and Dao deeply hates this group, he becomes even more determined to destroy the creature. Without wasting time, Dao charges at the enemy. At the same time, Zhu throws a rock at the devil, trying to help. Even though it doesn't cause much damage, it serves as a distraction. This gives Dao the perfect moment to attack, and he succeeds in cutting off one of the devil's arms. When the Blood Devil moves to strike back, Dao swiftly cuts off the second arm too. But the victory is short-lived. The devil simply grows both arms back and steps away for a moment. When the Blood Devil strikes again, Dao defends himself without trouble. He pushes forward, and the battle between them continues. Zhu watches with amazement, surprised that Dao can actually keep up with such a powerful enemy. Meanwhile, in another part of the facility, Jiang wakes up and finds a terrifying sight. A goat's head is staring at her. It becomes clear that Wang plans to experiment on her, trying to change her head just like he has done to the two women in the capsules earlier. Jiang warns him by mentioning the name of the Corpse Clan's leader, hoping this will stop him. But Wang ignores her warning. He believes that their leader will not forgive Jiang for ruining the lab and exposing the Blood Devil's existence. As Wang moves closer, Jiang kicks him hard, forcing him to fall back. This causes some equipment to fall over too. One strange object, a severed hand with an eye, suddenly comes to life. John tries to grab it, but it escapes and runs across the room. It reaches John's computer and begins tampering with it. While John is busy trying to fix the damage, the traps around the laboratory start activating on their own. In his frustration, John accidentally presses a button that begins the lab's self-destruction process. Realizing the danger, he quickly collects all the important files he can. He also tells Jiang what is going on. When he sees Mei, still unconscious, he thinks of taking her along as a gift to their leader. At the same time, water starts pouring into the room. While the fight between Dao and the Blood Devil continues, John picks up Mei and tries to escape. Zhu notices this and yells. Because of his shout, Dao gets distracted for a moment. The Blood Devil takes this chance to hit Dao hard, throwing him to the ground. As the monster prepares to finish Dao, Zhu uses the power of the ring. This surprises the Blood Devil. He tries to take over Zhu's body completely, but Zhu resists and breaks free from the devil's control. Slowly, the Blood Devil begins to dissolve, confused about why this is happening. Zhu's eyes and hands return to their normal state. He is shocked that he has somehow copied the devil's powers with his hand. Dao, watching all of this, thinks about someone who might be able to explain what just happened. But they need to escape first. Zhu runs to the door where Mei has fallen. Suddenly, Jiang falls on top of him. Dao immediately attacks her, thinking she is another enemy, but she dodges the blow. Dao is convinced she is also part of the Corpse Clan and continues attacking. But Zhu steps in between them to stop the fight. He believes Jiang is trying to escape too. The marks on her wrists and ankles prove that she has been tied up. They also think that she has been punished earlier for leaving a mark on the wall. As they look around, they notice the water level rising. That is when Jiang informs them that the entire lab is going to explode and they need to leave fast. Zhu still worries about Mei, but Jiang tells him that she is likely in a safer place than where they are now. Zhu starts walking again, but stops suddenly. In front of them, he sees something alarming. It is one of the bombs left behind by Dao's men, and it looks ready to explode. As they are trying to figure out how to handle the explosive situation, none of them realize that a dangerous creature has just woken up somewhere else in the facility. Dao thinks it would be best to destroy the explosive right away, but Jiang warns him that doing so could block their exit completely and trap them inside until they die. Because of that, she steps up and says she will take care of it. Dao agrees, but first decides to go relieve himself. He asks Zhu to come with him, but Jiang insists that Zhu stay behind to help her if needed. After Dao leaves, Jiang begins taking off her clothes and hands them to Zhu to hold. Zhu is confused but remains quiet. Jiang then carefully approaches the explosive and sets it off in a way that doesn't damage anything around it. Zhu stands up after the small blast and sees strange glowing patterns appear on Jiang's skin. Once she finishes getting dressed, she firmly tells Zhu not to tell anyone about what he saw on her body. Soon after, Dao rushes back, worried that Jiang might have harmed Zhu, but his concern quickly fades when he sees they are both fine. The water is rising again, so they have no choice but to keep moving fast to find a way out. As they move through the flooded halls, they come across some of Dao's teammates' bodies floating in the water. By the way their bodies look, Jiang guesses that the giant mosquitoes resting nearby have killed them. The noise made by a fallen capsule has probably disturbed the mosquitoes, waking them up. Reacting quickly, Jiang opens a hidden door in the wall, and all three of them run through it. Dao chooses to stay behind and distract the mosquitoes so Jiang and Zhu can escape safely. Jiang promises to leave marks along the way so he can find them later. As the mosquitoes fly toward him, Dao grabs a wooden plank to defend himself and fights off their bites. Luckily, he manages to escape before the water level gets too high and soon catches up with Jiang and Zhu. Their journey continues, and they reach a part of the facility where a large pool of water has formed because of damage to the building. Since the walkway is destroyed, they have no option but to swim across. Unknowingly, a monster is hiding beneath the water's surface. Just as Zhu is about to reach the other side, the creature grabs him and drags him under. Jiang immediately jumps into action and attacks the monster, forcing it to let go of Zhu. All three manage to get out of the water, but the creature comes back and attacks Zhu again. Thankfully, Dao steps in just in time and defends him, with Jiang helping as well. They make a run for the exit, but only Jiang is fast enough to reach the door first. The monster wraps one of its tentacles around Zhu again, but Dao slices through it, freeing him. Before they can escape, a sudden rumble shakes the ground. The monster's full body appears, and Dao throws an explosive at it. However, it has no effect. The creature lashes out at them again. Dao dodges its attacks, but the force causes a wall to collapse, releasing a strange gas. The gas makes both Zhu and Dao weak, and the monster quickly captures them. Just as the monster is about to eat them, Jiang returns and uses fire to attack it. This makes the creature drop them. They swim as fast as they can to escape, but the monster manages to grab Zhu once more. This time, he loses consciousness. When Zhu wakes up, he finds himself in a hotel room that he recognizes. But what shocks him most is seeing his face on the news. He is being named as a suspect in the attacks involving Mei and Shen. It is only then that he learns Mei is actually the daughter of a mayor. As he looks around the room, he notices a letter left behind by Dao. In it, Dao says that if Zhu wants to learn more about the ring and the strange powers it holds, he should meet him at the location shown on the map, exactly 10 days from now. He rushes to the hospital right away because he knows his mother must have already heard about the trouble he is in. When they see each other, she looks worried because the police are outside the hospital. He tells his mother clearly that he has done nothing wrong and promises to prove his innocence. Just then, they hear the voices of police officers coming closer. He quickly tells his mother that he will also try to find his father. Without wasting time, he jumps out of the window to avoid being caught. At the same time, John goes to meet the leader of the Corpse clan. That leader turns out to be Bai. John shows Bai his latest experiments, hoping he will be impressed. But Bai doesn't care about them anymore, so John decides to give him a surprise. He takes the cover off a hidden object, revealing Mei underneath. This shocks Bai because Mei is the daughter of the mayor, one of the richest and most powerful people in the country. Bai gets upset and warns John that capturing her could start a war between the people and the Corpse clan. John tries to defend his actions. He explains that Mei has already discovered their secret lab, so it is better to keep her with them. He also blames Jiang, saying she is the one who allowed others to follow her, which led to people discovering their hideout. To support his story, John shows a video from Mei's phone. Bai seems pleased with the information and gives John some corpse pallets as a reward. While this is happening, Bai walks towards Mei, but suddenly Jiang's voice is heard. She has been swimming in a pool nearby, unaware of the serious situation. John gets angry at Jiang for what happened in the lab and tries to attack her, but she is quick and easily stops him. Then, Bai gives the phone back to Jiang, asking her to handle the issue with the video. Suddenly, John begins to feel strange. Something is changing in his body. That's when he realizes Bai has secretly given him a corpse dissolution palette. The effect is powerful, and it makes John bring out his monster form. He starts to fight with Jiang. The battle is intense. Jiang gets a chance to fight back, but John doesn't care. He pulls out a weapon and tries to hit her. Jiang is fast and dodges, causing John's weapon to nearly strike Bai. Wang, who is also there and very angry, wants to fight John as well. But before he can do anything, Bai removes the eye patch from his eye. Long black tentacles come out and wrap around Wang, completely destroying him. This power is known as the Black Demon, and it is so strong that nothing is left of Wang's body afterward. Jiang claps at Bai's powerful display, but Bai isn't pleased. He ties her up too because he knows she has only used him to get rid of Wang. Still, Bai doesn't care about Zhu or the special ring. All that matters to him is Jiang finding the cultivation place so he can gain the ultimate power he has always dreamed of. Later that night, Zhu is hiding from the police when a car suddenly stops in front of him. Some men jump out, grab him, and force him into the vehicle. The car belongs to Liu. Zhu is furious with him and starts hitting Liu, blaming him for all the chaos in his life. Because of this, Liu's men hold Zhu down and plan to cut off his finger to take the ring he has. To stop them, Zhu remembers what Dao told him about another way to get the ring. He says they need to go to Tianshu Palace. Liu believes him and lets him go. Since Zhu has no clothes on, he grabs an outfit from a mannequin inside a mall and puts it on before walking away into the night. To save money on his journey to the Tianshu Palace, Zhu decides to travel by bus with a group of elders who have a special discount offer. He carries the map that Dao gives him, but the directions are difficult to understand. Because of this, he struggles to find the right place. As time passes, Zhu becomes very hungry and tired. He grows so weak that he collapses on the ground. While lying there, he suddenly hears a woman screaming nearby. Quickly, he hides behind some bushes and watches what is happening. A few men are chasing the woman, and when he looks more closely, he is shocked to see that the woman is his classmate, Tart. Zhu feels confused and curious about why she is in this area, so he decides to secretly follow them. They eventually reach a cliffside where the men surround Tart. They want to take the pendant she is wearing, claiming it belongs to their village. But Tart tells them she has worn that pendant since she was a child. The men notice the pattern on the pendant and say it comes from Mount Wui. Tart explains that a man gave it to her a long time ago, and she has come to this place to find that person. One of the men, losing patience, suddenly pulls out a gun and prepares to shoot. Still, Tart refuses to hand over the pendant. Just as the gun is about to fire, Zhu runs forward and stops the attacker. In the struggle, one of the men tries to grab the pendant, which causes Tart to lose her balance and fall off the cliff. Without thinking, Zhu pushes the other men aside and leaps after her. As he falls, his will to survive awakens the power inside the mysterious ring he wears. The power helps him grab onto the rocks of the cliff. Tart, hanging nearby, sees his glowing hand and unusual eyes. The sight shocks her so much that she faints. That night, when Tart finally wakes up, Zhu makes up a story, saying it is just a simple magic trick. But Tart doesn't believe him. She has read books about the immortals from Mount Wui and thinks Zhu has used some kind of ancient mystical power. She becomes very excited and begs Zhu to take her as his student so she can learn the same technique. Zhu doesn't really want to teach her, but since she keeps insisting, he tells her they can talk about it later. First, they need to find a way to leave the cliff area. Zhu tries using the power of the ring again, but nothing happens. Meanwhile, Tart looks around and sees something strange on the cliffside. There are coffins hanging on the rocks. These are part of an old burial practice where people believe placing coffins on cliffs will help the dead become immortal. Zhu doesn't believe this at all. He thinks the coffins are just filled with bones and nothing special. Tart feels tired again and decides to take a nap. As she sleeps, Zhu starts thinking about his father, who left many years ago and never returned. He blames his father for everything that has gone wrong in their lives, especially the poor condition of his mother. Full of anger, Zhu urinates on one of the nearby coffins. As he turns away, Zhu suddenly hears a knocking sound. It is coming from the same coffin he just disrespected. Slowly, the lid of the coffin opens. A pale hand reaches out, terrifying Zhu. He falls to the ground in fear. When he looks up again, a ghostly creature appears in front of him. Tart wakes up because of the noise and, frightened, clings to Zhu. To Zhu's surprise, the strange creature seems to know who he is. It says it has been waiting for him and invites him to come along. Zhu panics, thinking he might die, but the creature only laughs. It pulls out a picture of Zhu, which makes Zhu suspect Dao has something to do with this. The creature says his name is Muxuzi and explains that he has been sent by Wui Zhenjun from Tianshu Palace to welcome Zhu. When Tart learns that Muxuzi is training to become immortal, she begs him to take her as a student too. But Muxuzi says he doesn't teach women. However, he adds that if Tart agrees to become his wife, he might accept her. To everyone's surprise, Tart quickly agrees. Maksuzi then holds both of them and says he will take them to Tiangsu Palace. Ju looks at the two of them and feels like they are a strange kind of family. Maksuzi tells them to close their eyes and warns them not to open them no matter what happens. Then, all three of them jump together. When Ju lands, he opens his eyes even though Maksuzi warns them not to do so until he gives the signal. Right away, Ju notices he is inside a dark cave, but strangely, neither Tart nor Maksuzi is with him. As he looks around, he sees a group of people dressed in old-fashioned clothes, like those worn in ancient times. The place looks familiar to him, and he soon realizes it looks like the painting he once saw in the laboratory. Curious, Ju tries to get closer to the group. In the center of the crowd is an elderly man, and to his shock, the people start attacking and eating him. Ju is both scared and confused. He wants to hear what they are saying, so he slowly moves toward them. However, none of the people seem to notice him. He begins to think that what he is seeing is not happening now but is something from the past. Just to be sure, he looks around to see if someone else might be behind him. But the cave is empty. When he turns back to look at the group again, one of the men is suddenly standing right in front of him. The man leans in close and begins sniffing Ju. Alarmed, Ju punches the man, but to his surprise, his fist passes right through the man's body like it isn't even there. Everything goes black, and Ju faints. When Ju wakes up, Tart and Maksuzi are beside him. They explain that he passed out because he disobeyed Maksuzi and opened his eyes too early. Luckily, he is able to wake up without any lasting harm. As he stands up, he looks around and realizes that this cave is the same one he has seen many times in his dreams. Tart points out a stone nearby. Words are carved into it, saying that someone named Pengzu becomes immortal in this place. Ju remembers this spot clearly. It is where the old man had been eaten. He starts thinking that maybe the old man from the vision is Pengzu. But Maksuzi admits he is the one who carved those words into the stone. Even so, Ju feels certain that Pengzu is the man he saw, and that Pengzu's descendants, who turned against him, are the ones who later start the Corpse Clan. Just then, Dao appears. He notices Tart and asks about her. Ju introduces her as Maksuzi's future wife. But Dao laughs at the idea, saying Maksuzi is not allowed to marry because of the rules of their path. Maksuzi tries to get around this by saying he will quit cultivating if it means he can marry Tart. Dao exposes the truth again. And this time, Tart just gives Maksuzi a kiss on the cheek to thank him for bringing her there. This small gesture makes Maksuzi so happy that he says he will prepare something special. Ju assumes they are about to eat, but Maksuzi actually prepares a hot spring bath instead. Dao explains that they need to clean themselves before entering Tiangsu Palace. After the bath, as they relax, Ju looks around and thinks deeply. The strange look of the place makes him uncertain. He can't tell if Dao and Maksuzi are truly good people or hiding something dark. He also begins to suspect that his first meeting with Dao isn't just a coincidence. Because of these doubts, Ju feels uneasy and wants to explore more of the area to learn the truth. However, he is still hungry and feeling weak. As he walks further into the cave, he notices a faint light ahead. He follows it and finds that it leads to a tunnel. At the end of the tunnel, he sees Tiangsu Palace for the first time. Nearby, others like Maksuzi are training their students. Ju is amazed by how strong these people are. After winning battles, one of them takes a picture of himself before beginning his training in the art of immortality. His friend quickly hushes him, warning that someone might overhear them. One of them whispers a fear that maybe they won't be able to return to human form once they change. But the other student believes it is possible since 5 powerful masters have already done it. Still, no one knows how those 5 masters managed to return. There is a rumor that it all started 5 years ago when some archaeologists accidentally entered Tiangsu Palace and triggered a series of events. What Ju overhears reminds him of his father and stirs deep memories. Just as he is about to walk away, one of the 5 legendary masters, Chunyang, arrives. Before Ju can leave, another master named Ling Xiao suddenly appears and stops him from going any further. All the other masters are gathered as well, and when Chunyang notices the ring on Ju's finger, he becomes very shocked. That ring has been missing from Tiangsu Palace for a long time, and he wants to know why Ju is wearing it. When Ju realizes the attention is turning to him, he tries to escape. Chunyang quickly orders his students to catch him, but just in time, Maksuzi shows up. Maksuzi explains to the masters that Ju is a guest of Zhenjun, and since Zhenjun has personally requested to meet Ju, the others back off and bring him to Zhenjun right away. When they enter the hall, a variety of food is already prepared. Ju is very hungry by then, and before anyone says anything, he grabs some food and begins eating. A few moments later, Zhenjun enters the room and notices Ju helping himself to the feast. This surprises him. Dao tries to stop Zhu from eating, but before he can do much, Ling Xiao suddenly steps forward and attacks Zhu's table. Without warning, he targets Zhu directly. Dao tries to block Ling Xiao, but Ling Xiao ignores him and keeps attacking. Zhenjun doesn't react or interfere, so Ling Xiao releases his power toward Zhu. Surprisingly, Zhu manages to block the attack. His ring's power awakens again. He responds by pushing the energy back, and this leads to a real battle between the two. Ling Xiao attacks again and again, but Zhu defends himself and finally grabs Ling Xiao, slamming him down to the ground. At that moment, Zhenjun steps in and breaks up the fight. He strikes Zhu with his own power, and the others quickly surround Zhu with their weapons, ready to stop him if he moves again. Chen-Yang notices Zhu's red hair, which reminds him of someone from long ago. Zhenjun, now calm, returns to his seat and magically creates chairs for everyone. He has Zhu sit in the center. Zhenjun then asks Zhu why he has the sacred ring of Tiangsu Palace. Zhu explains that he finds the ring by accident and wears it without knowing its power. That is why he has come to ask for help in removing it. But Zhenjun reveals a shocking truth. He says that 3 people before Zhu have also worn the ring, but all of them explode and die. No one has survived after wearing it. Even Zhenjun admits he does not know how to take the ring off. What amazes everyone is that Zhu has not only survived but also used its power. Zhenjun declares that Zhu has already become more powerful than anyone else in the palace. Because of that, Zhu is not allowed to leave. He has to stay in the palace because Zhenjun is planning to make an important announcement the next day. Later, the 4 great masters discuss what this announcement might be. They believe Zhenjun wants to become a heavenly immortal, but he has not yet chosen a person to take his place. Chen-Yang guesses that Zhenjun will finally name a successor, and it might be Zhu, since Zhenjun drinks an elixir daily to prepare for his heavenly transformation. Chen-Yang secretly tells one of their companions to give Zhenjun a special elixir that will fulfill his wish. What they don't know is that Jiang and Bai are already hiding outside. Jiang has successfully located the cultivation place and found Tiangsu Palace. That same night, Zhenjun goes into his private room and drinks the elixir that has been prepared for him. Right after drinking it, he feels that someone else has secretly entered the room. He quickly tries to find out who the intruder is and follows the hidden presence through the room. Just when he is about to catch the person, the hidden figure pulls out a weapon and fires a shot at Zhenjun. Zhu and Dao are inside when they hear a loud gunshot. Rushing outside, they are shocked to hear the news that Zhenjun has been killed. They run straight to Zhenjun's private room to see for themselves. When Dao steps inside, he is stunned to find out who has done it. Zhu enters just a few moments later, but before he can react, he is shot. To his disbelief, it is Tart who pulls the trigger. Meanwhile, Chen-Yang and the other masters have already fought and destroyed the members of the Corpse clan who dare to enter Tiangsu Palace. News of Zhenjun's death soon reaches them. Once they find out that Tart is responsible, they now have a strong reason to seek revenge. After the chaos, Bai and Zheng arrive at the palace. They approach a disciple and ask where the cultivation chamber is. When the disciple refuses to give an answer, Bai kills him without hesitation. Knowing Zhenjun is now dead, Bai feels confident that no one can challenge them anymore. During this time, Zhu and Dao discover something surprising about Tart's past. Her father, Xiaoyazi, was once a disciple of Tiangsu Palace too. Tart learns from her father's old letters that Zhenjun is responsible for her father's death. She reveals that her father had planned to leave the palace after discovering the truth about a murder case involving archaeologists 5 years earlier. But after that, her family never hears from him again. Years ago, when the archaeologists are attacked by the Corpse clan, Zhu's father, Jin, is with them. Just when they are about to be killed, Zhenjun arrives and saves the group. During the chaos, Jin loses consciousness. When he finally wakes up, he realizes that Zhenjun, Xiaoyazi, and others have not returned to their normal human forms. He comes to know that all of them are already staying in Tiangsu Palace. Later, the group is called to meet Zhenjun, but while waiting, one of their team members faints suddenly. After they return to their rooms, they find out that there are dangerously high levels of radiation in the palace. Jin decides to discuss the matter with Xiaoyazi, who is known for his skills in crafting. Xiaoyazi admits that he only sends his creations to his daughter, and reveals he has a wife and a child. Jin, impressed by his work, wants him to make something for his own son, Zhu. However, Chen-Yang appears and scolds Xiaoyazi, saying that with his current actions, he will never be allowed into the cultivation area. Jin then finds out that Xiaoyazi is the only one who hasn't yet entered the restricted training room. One day, they decide to investigate the room together. When they enter it, they discover that the radiation levels inside are dangerously high. Zhenjun suddenly catches them inside and becomes furious. Jin tries to explain their findings, including the possible link between the radiation, their powers, and the changes in their physical forms. But Zhenjun refuses to believe him. Instead, he orders all of them to be tied up. Later, Chunyong comes up with an idea that could help them return to their human bodies. He buries the group in a hot cave where Xiaoyazi secretly gives them water to keep them alive. After several days, they all grow weak, but Chunyong's method is finally ready. They all swallow the mixture that is supposed to return them to their normal forms. However, Muxuzi secretly doesn't take it. Because of that, he remains the only one who does not return to human form. This act goes against the sacred rules, and Zhenjun warns them never to repeat such a thing. One day, Chunyong sees someone spying outside. He chases the person and finds that it is Xiaoyazi. Without hesitation, he kills him. Later, Chunyong goes to Zhenjun's room and shows an elixir that is made using human elements. There, he also notices Zhu and realizes he looks just like Jin. It is at that moment they discover Zhu is Jin's son. Zhu, full of anger over what has happened to his father, makes up his mind to take revenge. In his rage, he sets off an explosion that destroys Zhenjun's chamber. Dao acts quickly and rescues Tart and Muxuzi from the blast. Just when it seems like things are settling down, someone launches a sudden attack on Zhu. To his shock, it is Chunyong who has come to finish what was started. After Zhu stands up, he fights back against Chunyong with full force. However, Chunyong quickly dodges his attack, causing one of his allies to get accidentally injured. Zhu charges toward Chunyong again and uses his power, but Chunyong manages to avoid it. Then Chunyong strikes back, and his companions join in, combining their powers to defeat Zhu. But even with all their efforts, Zhu remains too powerful, and their attacks have no effect. Zhu launches another powerful strike, forcing Chunyong to call on another one of their allies, someone who has only been pretending to be dead. They all work together to trap Zhu with chains, but Zhu is so strong that he easily breaks free. Chunyong then uses a special technique that Zhu cannot block in time. This attack knocks Zhu down. Everyone thinks it's over, but Zhu stands up again after a short while, leaving them in shock. As he prepares to attack Chunyong once more, something unexpected happens. Zhu suddenly collapses and loses consciousness. At that moment, Ling Xiao steps forward and is about to finish Zhu off, but Dao quickly rushes in to protect him. A fight breaks out between Ling Xiao and Dao. Unfortunately, Dao's strength is limited, and Ling Xiao easily defeats him. Ling Xiao even tries to use Dao's own weapon to kill him, but Muxuzi jumps in just in time to stop the attack. Muxuzi pleads with them to spare Dao, explaining that he is only acting out of drunkenness and isn't thinking clearly. Chunyong, however, says he has no plans to forgive Dao unless Dao kneels before them 3 times as an apology. Dao refuses to do so, standing by his pride. Chunyong then attacks Dao, but Muxuzi takes the hit in Dao's place and dies instantly. Meanwhile, Bai and Zhang reach the gate of Tiangsu Palace. Bai calls his followers and orders them to storm the palace. While 2 disciples are quietly talking about the recent deaths of Zhenjun and Muxuzi, Bai's men suddenly attack them. At the same time, Chunyong and the other masters take Zhu to the cultivation chamber, where they plan to remove the powerful ring from him. They attempt to cut off his finger to take the ring, but as soon as they try, the ring reacts and blocks them. Realizing they can't remove it, Chunyong decides to bring Zhu deeper into the cultivation zone. There, Chunyong gathers all of his disciples and declares himself the new leader. He shares his plan to create more immortality pills using human lives, hoping this will help them regain their human forms and make them powerful enough to stand against the Corpse Clan's army. Soon after, one of their disciples rushes in with alarming news. The Corpse Clan is already launching an attack. Bai and Janet quickly reach the cultivation area. As the disciples try to seal the room, Bai launches a sudden attack, breaking through and entering with Janet. Inside, Zhu lies unconscious, lost in his thoughts. He begins to remember everyone he has met recently, his friends, his mother, and father. Feeling overwhelmed and ready to give up, he is about to close his eyes when he suddenly hears the voice of the Blood Devil. The thought of Dao and Tart's suffering gives him a new reason to fight. That's it for today, my fellow men of culture. Like and subscribe the channel for more plot-filled recaps.